Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, I think I'm gonna come up with a schedule on when to post, so that way you guys are expecting when I post. So I think I might be posting every Monday and Wednesday. I don't know if it'll be like every Monday and Wednesday, but I'm gonna try to. It all depends on if I can with school and all that, because I get pretty busy with school. So like the only time I'll be able to record these is at night on weekends. So I'm currently trying to read some stories now because it's still the same night from when I read chapter 4. So I'm just trying to read a lot of the chapters now, so that way I can focus a little bit more on school. So if I don't post that much, it's because I've been busy with school. But today we are going to be reading chapter 8. Yeah, chapter 8. This one, I don't remember if this one's a long one or not, but let's get started. Chapter 8. Uraka jingled her keys into her dorm door, letting it creak open. Without allowing Izuku to walk in, she pushed him inside. With both of her hands on his shoulder, she shoved him onto the couch. Izuku winced in pain, grabbing his side. Why did you do that? He whispered, staring at Uraraka, whom stood, hands on her hips, giving Izuku a death glare. He shrugged back in his seat more, waiting for what would eventually happen. Even if not now, sometime in the future. Deku, what did I just witness? To Izuku's confusion, Uraraka just smirked at him. What do you mean? He asked, tapping his chin lightly. Uraraka groaned and smacked her palm across her forehead. Are you that dense, Deku? She tapped her foot on the rough carpet below impatiently. Izuku didn't answer immediately. He was confused, as if she was asking him to explain what happened to him or what happened at Bakugo's. At the memory, his face flushed, and he hid his face in his hands. Uraraka chuckled. Yeah, if you don't want to tell me what happened to you, then how about you tell me what happened between you and Bakugo? She wiggled her eyebrows as she watched Izuku shriek more and more into the couch. I don't know what you're talking about, Uraraka, he whispered, pushing his legs up against his chest. Uraraka giggled and sat next to the greenette. So, she held the pause for a little longer than most people would find reasonable. Are you guys like a thing? Izuku choked on his own spit, flicking his hands away from his face. He winced at the sudden movement. But still got out of his position and moved so that he was facing Uraraka. What? No, that was the first time in forever he hadn't tried killing me. When we were closer than a meter apart, he yelled, pinching the bridge of his nose. I don't understand how you could even think that, Uraraka said, deflating. Deku, he put you in his lap. How the frick am I not meant to think you guys are together? She put one of her hands on Izuku's shoulder. I won't judge if you... Uraraka, we aren't together. We have bigger things to worry about than dating. He suddenly outbursted, which made Uraraka flinch. She was unsure of what that meant by bigger things, but she was sure she would find out sooner or later. She crossed her arms, letting out a deep sigh before her smile returned. Oh, all right. Tomorrow's your birthday. All right. Tomorrow's your birthday. You'll get to figure out your soulmate. She's jumping with excitement again, which to Izuku was honestly odd. She had her own mark already, which was simply green frog-shaped blob that was on her palm. Yet, when she got it, she wasn't nearly as excited as she was when she heard Izuku was getting his mark. It was always confusing to him why she was always more excited for other people than herself. Izuku sighed, a warm feeling in his chest. Tomorrow was his birthday, which meant he would get a clue to figure out whom would help him through his problem. Although that haunted Izuku, the thought of sharing his problems with others didn't seem very appealing, even if it was his soulmate. Again, this brought back all the terrible stories of people finding their soulmates and then they not end up working out. Their personalities clash in a terrible way, and they don't feel attracted to one another. Izuku's breath quickened as he thought of all the things that could go wrong, and he clasped his right hand around his left wrist, pressing down on one of the closest cuts. Uraraka noticed the movement and moved closer to him, rubbing reassuring circles on his back. Hey, it's going to be okay. Tomorrow, everyone's going to come, and we're going to have a sleepover. They have changed the plans a bit. Instead of them only coming to Momo's on Sunday, they're going to come on Saturday and have a sleepover until Sunday. Therefore, they'll be there for both Izuku and Bakugo's birthdays. Izuku looked up at his friend with desperate eyes. Please don't tell them I cut. Uraraka was blown away from this. She hadn't been aware he was cutting, and for her not to tell his friends was both scary and bewildering. Deku, you cut? A flash of recognition made Izuku once bright green eyes go into a grayish-greenish hue. They didn't tell you? He breathed, scared that he just exposed himself to one of his closest friends without another word. Without another word, Uraraka grabbed Izuku's arm, shoving his sleeve back. She was taken back by the scars that seemed to never end. Some thick, some thin, some seemed to be cut almost to the bone. She winced, pulling the sleeve back up. I'm sorry, he whispered, going back into a ball. For what? She stared at her hands, confused. For hiding it from you? For hiding it from you? He sniffed, tears staining the couch below him. What? Don't be sorry. Understand. It's okay. She hurried, trying to make her friend feel better. Oh, how about we go shopping? Maybe that can get your mind off of this. She smiled at him. To her surprise, Izuku's head lifted up, and she was greeted with a smile from the boy. But to her horror, it had no humor, or, well, anything behind it. It seemed so forced, so hollow, so dejected. Oh God, please, whoever Deku's soulmate is, save this poor boy. Meanwhile, in the Bakugo's house home, Brat, get the fuck out of your room and come talk to me. You can't just sit in your fucking room all day and be sad because Izuku got hurt. Jesus, of all the times you can't use this to fuel your goddamn pride. You're the one who got him out of that situation, Mizuki yelled to her son from downstairs. Anyways, didn't you come home to spend time with your family? She heard a booming laugh, and then for once in a huge In a huge mood, she was glad to hear her son's voice. Fuck no, I didn't come to spend time with you. And with that, the door to Bakugo's room swung open to reveal Bakugo in his normal black tank top and black sweats. Masuki took a fake pout while glaring at her son. But Sunday's your birthday. Aren't you gonna do something fun with your family? She heard her teen groan and look at his phone, heading into the kitchen. Absolutely fucking not. I'm going somewhere tomorrow and Sunday, so I won't be here in this household. She rolled her eyes at the rude remark, but still smirked. Oh, what you gonna do? Hang out with a girlfriend or maybe a boyfriend? She wiggled her eyebrows as she entered the kitchen, making sure her son wasn't grabbing a knife to kill her with. You old hag. Fuck no. Jesus, I'm going to some dumb-ass party. Some extras are forcing me to go, he growled, angrily pouring a glass of orange juice. Misuki came up behind her son and shoved his shoulders, causing him to spill a bit of the drink. Before he could scream at his mother for being a dick, she gave a retort he had heard so many times before the past month. Now, is that really a way to address your friends? He didn't respond. He simply guided himself out of the kitchen and locked himself back in his room. But right before he actually closed the door, she heard a gruffle, "Fuck you," and the slam of the door. She sighed and sat down on her white couch, smirking.